What's up, TJ? Yeah. This thing. See if I can get this thing in here without making a damn mess. I sure did. I got it in there without making a mess. How about that? How about that? How about that? I got it in there without making a mess. Yeah. Let's see if I can get y'all in here a little closer. A little closer. Boy, I tell you what, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me turn this on. Myself, I found that out the other day. No, I don't have a dust mask. No, I'm not putting one on. No, I don't care. It has been raining like a summer gun, boys. It's just about go time. So, this is 320. This is a taco. This is guide coat. A lot of people don't use guide coat. I do. Now you see, let me show you. Let me show you. By using guide coat. Now, if I was just to sand that without guide coat, it would look like it'd be slick, but it's not slick because you see the guide coat. All right. See all the dark? That's low. It's not low. It's not flat. This is flat. This is not flat. Right. This is the back of the cab. So I mean, I could do it with a hard block or a paint stick or something like that, but this will be fine. This is a taco. They're really good. I've used these things forever. This is 320 grit. And then once all said and done, I'll come back over this with a 400 wet, and then it'll be good to go. Oh, I know. Let's see. Let me catch up right quick. TJ, Ray, Tulu, 84, Cars in the Cut, RJ, Mad Max. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell, buddy. 84 cut. Yeah, man, this rain. Appreciate it. OBI. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification. What's up, Vic? How's it going? Hey, man, I want to tell everybody. Yesterday, the 2 lives that I did yesterday. The first live was like 7,400 views. It's up higher now because it's been posted. The second one yesterday about making those dimple dye things, those LS covers for JT for Build on a Budget, was like 4,300 like in 30 minutes. And I gained like 25 subscribers. Please make it make sense to me. Please make it make sense to me. If 7,000 people watched your channel, how come 7,000 people didn't hit the well, hell, just half. If 3,250, if 7,500 people was watching, half of that is 3,250. How come 3,250 people didn't hit that subscribe button? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But if I showed a damn titty or something, y'all would hit it. If I done something stupid and non-educational, and y'all would hit it. I just don't understand, man. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I could teach you how to save yourself, and you still wouldn't hit it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. So this is called a crosshatch pattern. So I'm actually going for, like, if I was to describe it on a clock dial, right? If we was talking about a clock, right? Everybody knows what a clock looks, right? You got 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 12 o'clock, right? Okay, so if we were thinking about a clock, I'm going from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That's what I'm doing in my head, right? 1 7, 1 7, 1 7, 1 7, 1 7, 1 7. And like this. Don't go like this. I'm gonna do it with this rag. We'll do it with this rag because I don't want to put scratches. Don't sand like this. You're not washing a car. Don't do this. Don't do circles. It's not Miyagi. It's not wax on and wax off. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. You're trying to get it flat. Okay? You're trying to get it flat. But you do it every way you want to do it, and that's okay. I'm just telling you how I do it, how I was taught to do it, and the results that come out from it. And I'm just laying my hand flat on that. I'm not putting pressure. I mean, this thing's pretty stiff. Somebody's probably gonna say, why ain't you got no mask on? I'm gonna say, why ain't you got no underwear on? Yeah, I need a mask. Somebody's probably gonna say, why ain't you got no gloves on? I'm gonna say, why ain't you got no front teeth? Hey, Tulu, how's that shoulder? Oh, Lord, let's don't get talking about Bondo Billy. Let's don't get talking about Bondo Billy. Bondo Billy, he's hilarious. I mean, I'm not talking bad about the man. Hey, whatever works, works, you know. So now let me show you. Whatever works, works. But I will tell you this. He's in the block world with the big kid blocks and linear blocks. And I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. All right, so now look. Just that little bit of cross-hatching. Just that little bit of cross-hatching. We got a little bit of guide coat right there. We got a little bit of guide coat right there. So it's still not 100%. Now, you see this dark color? That's black, okay? I epoxy everything in black first, and then I do high build, right? See, that's black. That tells me that if I go through that black, I'm gonna hit bare metal. So that's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't go no deeper. Don't go no deeper. Don't go no deeper, right? So, and then right here, you see this right here? This is pretty flat, but you see that right there? You see that? It's still dark gray or dark gray. That's low right there. See that? I got 2 pinholes right there. See that right there? These pinholes might come out. There might be enough material there to get out, but if they don't go away, I'll just skim them, right? Every bit of this has to be done like, well, every part of the vehicle has to be done like this. This part right here is what separates everybody. A lot of people, what's up, Sheets 909? This is what separates a lot. A lot of people get to this point, like Tulu said, a lot of people get to this point and they check out. They done. They hit it with a DA and they done. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm not using a DA back here. Some people, if you want to use a DA, use a DA. Whatever works for you, works for you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for you, works for you. Whatever works for you, works for you. All right? Whatever works for you, works for you. And that's okay. But there is a different way. That's for sure. But somebody made a comment the other day said, you can't read a book to learn how to do that. Everybody had to learn somewhere, and you're exactly right. You had to learn somewhere. A lot of people are self-taught, but a lot of people are self-taught the wrong way. A lot of people are self-taught and have bad habits and don't know they have bad habits until they have shown the better way. I want to say the right way, the better way of the industrial standards. And that's why they have textbooks. That's why they have journals. That's why they have literature. That's why a manufacturer spends millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in R&D and books. That's why colleges use books. That's why ASC uses books. That's why ICAR uses books. There's an industrial standard where they come up with this standard on this is how this is supposed to be done. Yes, you can learn how to do stuff on your own through trial and error, but sometimes you learn bad habits. I've learned bad habits over the years, but then when I was educated, that's a big word like mayonnaise, when I was taught a different way by say, hey, look, this is the way you're supposed to do it. This works the best way. Here's the textbook. And then you read the textbook and then that you see the instructions in there how to do certain things. Then you take what you've learned in that textbook or in lecture and then you apply it in real world. And I do know this, I will agree to this, a lot of stuff that's in the book doesn't really happen in real world because a book is in a perfect situation and nothing is never perfect. So that's a book and literature and schooling and training, going to training classes and going to doing stuff. That gives you the building blocks to take that to apply it to this. And if something comes up, then you say, hey, I can do this because this is the best way of attack to do this. And that's it. And then you make a mental note in your brain or in your notebook and say, hey, look, I know the book said do it this way, but I found that way was not accurate. This is a better way. And that's how they change the textbooks. When you go get your ASCs and you take the test for ASC to get master certified, what they do is they give you a question. They'll say, hey, such and such, such and such, such and such. Is A the best answer? Is B the best answer? Is C, A, and B the best answer? Or D, none of the above? What they do is they take 100 technicians that's been in the field for at least 25 to 30 years, and they ask those 100 technicians that same question, and they take the answers of those 100 technicians, and the majority of the people that picked A or B, that is the correct answer. Even though, because they took their experience of 30, 20, 30, 40 years and said, yeah, I've run across that, but A is the best answer. They asked every single one of those people in private, and they take the majority of that answer. So if they asked 100 people and 68 of them said A was the right answer, and the rest of them said it was B the right answer, guess what the right answer is on the test? A. Even though B might be the better answer, A is the answer. A is the answer. Ask me how I know. Because there are some tests that I've taken, and I'm not the only one, that got a question wrong, and I'm like, I can test that. It's like, well, I can test that, and I can prove it. I got the receipts to back it up. That's wrong. A is not the best answer. B is the best answer. This right here is the best answer, and I got the documentation to back it up. So what they do is you support that information with the information that you have. All right, so I got information and proved that information, and then they say, okay, well, yep, we'll change that answer. Okay, well, and then we'll send it up to the people to send it up and let them review the answer, so maybe they can make updates to the text. That's how that changes. That's how that happens. That's how that happens. That's what I was talking about yesterday when somebody says, hey, this is whatever, and I'm like, no, you're running on bad information. That information might have been good 6 months ago, but that information is not good right now. So let me get caught up on these comments. Let me see. What's up, Daniel? My guy at Pumpkins told me you really don't learn until you know it. Yeah, TJ, you know what makes a good painter? A painter that can fix his mistakes. That's what makes a good painter. Anybody can paint. I don't care what no one says. I put another mission mark. 100, we even prove it in the books, and they still say it's wrong. Yeah, Eric, yeah. So yeah, Eric, you're right. You're right. I mean, sometimes they won't change it. I mean, even though, let me turn this thing around. Sometimes they won't even change it because, well, that's the answer. Well, no, it's not. Things change, man. Technology changed. Hey, on a different note, I went through school and had to prove I was right for another classmate. We were in the wrong. Yeah, hey, yeah, so I don't want to say there's a right way and a wrong way. I just say there's a way to do things, and then there's a better way to do things. TJ brought it up, Bondo Billy. He's welding with flux wire, and he's welding holes up, and he's doing all this and all that, and he's like, I'm the best welder, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great, that's fine. He's using flux. And he says that he's been doing body work for 40 or 50 years. That's exactly right. He's exactly right. We get them all the time coming into college and say, well, I've done this for 50 years. Okay, well, flux is not the best option anymore. 60 years ago, flux was the option because that's all, was the only thing that was available. Well, technology's changed. Flux is not the best way. It was then, but it's not now. I'm not saying he's wrong now. I'm just saying he's running on bad technology. And I'm not throwing shade at Bondo Billy. It works, it works. But if you want to go and watch somebody that's actually up to date, go to Cornfield Customs in Ohio. Watch him. he continued. If you really want to do a patch panel like the best way is TIGging. It's TIG. It's TIG the panel. That is and to do the panel the best way, you need to take the panel completely off so you can get to the back side of it. So Cornfield Customs, I really like watching Cornfield Customs. I really like watching them because, I was taught to do stitch welds, tack, 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 do 1,000 tacks. That's the way I was taught, 25 years ago. Tack, 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 and control your heat. Blow air on it or put a rag on it to quench it. That's wrong. They found out that by doing that, you're destroying the molecules of the metal and making the metal weaker. Now, I'm not saying that Bondo Billy's wrong. I'm just saying that technique and that technology is dated. Like if you tell me something today and then 2 weeks from now, I'm still telling that same thing, and then you come back and say, hey, look, I found out that this. Oh, I'm running on bad information. Like I said yesterday, bad intel. You have to stay on the game to keep the intel up, So with that being said, Cornfield Customs does a continuous weld. He TIGs the continuous weld all the way. And he doesn't do a butt weld with a gap. He does a butt weld, completely butt weld. TIGs the joint all the way. Then takes it and hammers and dollies it right there. I mean, he took a whole quarter off of a 65 Mustang to do all the patch panels and then hammered and dollied it and then put it back on. He did a deck skin. There was a Hudson or something. There was a Hudson, a Ford car that had a deck lid. That had a hole in the deck lid. Until I seen how he done it, I would have made a patch panel. I would have hemmed it. I would have plug welded. I would have done all that. And then I would smooth it out. And then I would have tried to got behind it. And I would have sprayed some wool wax or some kind of 3M wool wax up behind it to treat the metal behind it so it don't rust from the backside in. I would have done that. But watching Cornfield Customs, he made a patch panel. Then he separated the skin from the deck lid, welded up the panel, hammered and dollied it, smoothed it on the inside and the outside, and then spot welded the skin back onto the trunk lid. And now it looks, if you look inside of it, it looks like it was brand new. That is the superior way to fix it. Now, is everybody going to pay for it? In Cornfield Customs, it said this. Is everybody going to pay for that type of repair? No. But the ones that are paying for it, want it. Let's see. I seen Flux Weld shows through Bodywork later. Yes, you're right about being a good painter. You have to know how to fix your mistakes. That's why it's so hard to get through school. Yeah, so, but yeah, that's like I said. And see, like lead, like the joints at the seam, like the lead at like the filler panels on Camaros and Firebirds and Mustangs at the sail panel where they sweated in on the lead. A lot of people's like, oh, lead's superior. Okay. Yeah, lead filler's superior. Okay. And there's a lot of shops, like restoration shops, that still do lead or, lead type filling work, right? Because they're doing like concourse builds and stuff. But honestly, the lead, the epoxies that we have today don't like that lead. And when you spray this type of 2K epoxy over that lead, they don't like each other because of the peroxides and stuff that's in them. And later on, it comes off, it bubbles off. And once it bubbles off, you got adhesion failure. So you need to sweat all that lead out. You need to weld the joint up or the seam up solid. You need to metal treat it. You need to cut a filler panel You need to weld that filler panel in to make it completely smooth so there's no valley. Then you need to epoxy it. Then you can put some type of, fiberglass body filler like Duraglass or Evercoat over it, or get it as close as you can get it, hammer and dolly in it or metal working it the closest you can, and then put your 2K epoxy down, and then do your body work over your 2K epoxy. It's not acceptable to put, and I know I'm fixing to make the internet go crazy, it's not acceptable to put body filler or Evercoat short strand body filler over bare metal. And somebody's probably gonna drop in the comments and say, I've been doing that shit for 50 years. Okay, well keep doing it for 50 years. The technology has changed in the chemistry of the products. The products are the same, it's just the chemical makeup of it is different. And anything over bare metal is gonna rust. Bare metal and rust is a living organism. It takes air and moisture and raw metal to make rust. At 50% humidity, bare metal will start growing rust within 30 minutes at 50% humidity at 70 degrees. It's facts. It's chemistry. It's chemistry. It's physics. It ain't got nothing to do with what I believe in. It ain't got nothing to do with what you believe in. It's physics. And if you didn't pay attention in chemistry class, you need to go back and take another one and get refreshed, because it actually grows 100%. If this was bare metal and I put my hand on it like that right there, and I come back tomorrow and there was a fan in here and it was 50% humidity, my handprint would be right there on that metal. You could see it. You could see the silhouette of my hand. If I had this right here and there was bare metal and I had a fan blowing on it and the moisture on that, and the next morning there would be light surface rust. It looked like somebody pissed on it with coffee brown. It would be there. It would be there. It's facts. It ain't got nothing to do with what I believe in. It ain't got nothing to do with what you believe in. It's physics. And until physics change, until something else happens, that's just the way it's going to be. Now, I'm standing in this crack right here with my thumb right there because the radius of my thumb is about the same radius as that right there. I do not sand with no pad on there because you will leave finger tracks. So in these little cracks right here, I'm sanding with that. I seen at the college one time, there was a night class, and I wasn't teaching the night class. It was a different guy. And they had a little S10, they had a square face S10, like 88, 89, square face. Little box S10. And it was in primer. And it was at night, it was a student's truck, and they were getting it ready, and they pushed it. They pushed it into the booth, right? They pushed it into the booth. And they didn't seal it. I'm a big sealer, put sealer down. They didn't seal it. The guy didn't want to seal it. Too much money. His daddy said, you don't need to seal it. We're at school when we say, you need to seal it. That's the reason why no, my daddy said they made sealer just to make you spend extra money. Okay, fine. Well, you got ground coats, G1 through G7. There's a reason why you got G1 through G7. There's a reason why. They didn't make products just for you to spend money because they want your money. They done it for a reason. It's a system, It's a system. You got systems. You got to go with the system. So, with that being said, the next day, I come in the next morning and the truck was painted. And the truck was out, it was out of the booth, it was painted, they baked it, blah, blah, blah. It was out on the shop floor, and it had little sticky notes on the window that says, do not touch. Okay, later on that day, they took it outside and let it sit out in the sunshine. 3 days later, he had ghost handprints on the hood. I promise you. It had a ghost handprints. It was like, you grabbed it like that. There was two ghost handprints on the hood. The truck was like like an off-white, and you could barely see them. In the shimmer, it It looked like two handprints. Well, it was two handprints on the hood. And they was trying to figure out how there was two handprints on the hood. All right. Well, come to find out, they didn't wipe the truck down with wax and grease remover. Why they didn't wipe it down or the hood didn't get wiped down, I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't instructed. But anyway, so what happened is it was hot. It was in the summer. Everybody's sweaty, blah, blah, blah. So whoever helped push the car in there or push the truck in there had sweaty hands with no gloves and left the imprint of salt residue on the hood. Well, when he went and sprayed it, appreciate that, Matt. Appreciate that, Dillard. When they went and sprayed it, the salts came through the same imprint of the hand. You can't make this shit up. I asked him, I said, are you going to fix it? He's like, no, I'm going to leave it. Like, I don't know why that happened. And then the instructor, I said, man, they didn't wipe that thing down. He said, I guess they did. I don't know. I really wasn't paying attention. And I said, you really wasn't paying attention? He said, no, it's like herding cats. And I'm like, yeah, but you're getting paid to do a job to make sure everybody follows the instructions. You know, and you didn't double check and say, hey, man, did y'all wipe that thing down? Did y'all wipe it down real good? Are you sure? Yeah, we're sure. Well, wipe it down again. Let's just make sure. Wipe it down again. Wipe it down, wipe it down, wipe it down. Learning, we're good for. Oh yeah, go over to Cornfield Customs. Go watch Cornfield Customs. Yeah, he's a good, he used to do paint and body. He used to do every bit of that paint and body stuff. And he says in one of his, so, I don't even know where I was at. This damn company called Evercoat, and I'm not talking about body filler, has called me like 15 times this morning, and I blocked their number. They keep telling me that I need to extend the warranty on my Hyundai. I don't have a Hyundai, never owned a Hyundai. I don't even know where I was at. Oh, back to Cornfield Customs. Cornfield Customs used to do paint and body work and all that, but he says that he got tired of doing that and he started buying all this metal fabricating and just does all the metal work. And when it leaves his shop, all the metal work's done. He said he got tired of, and I really like that. So, yeah, that's one thing I learned, to clean, tack everything. Boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you. I just wanted to jump on here just a little bit. I wanted to do, yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I like him. I've talked to him several times on the phone. I got an appointment at 11 o'clock with Spectrum. So they're coming today, and Jay is getting fiber. I asked for 2G, but they won't give me 2G because the county won't let them give me 2G. So I'm getting 1G internet, 1G down and 500 up. Right now, I got 26 down and 3 up with that satellite that I got. So they're supposed to be here at 11. So hopefully later on today, I'll have fiber in my diet, fiber on my Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, he's bad at a bone, man. I could watch him for hours and hours and hours doing metal work. He's the one that motivated me to get more metal fabricating equipment. So, yeah. So I'm gonna jump off here. There's 52 people on here, man. If you haven't not subscribed to this channel, man, I would greatly appreciate you hit the subscribe button. It don't cost you a dime. I promise you it don't cost you a dime. I really do. Hit that notification bell. Hit that thumbs up bell. Hit it, man. Just hit it. I promise you, I will try to bring you something educational every single time I go live. Every single time, you know. So I'm going to get off here. Like I said, I just got a text message that says the installer will be here in about 10 minutes. I've already done all the prep work, so it should be lickety split. And I'm going to get this thing water sanded. Also found out that the client that owns this is back in the country. I got a text message this morning, so I got an appointment with him today at 1 o'clock, and we're gonna talk about moving forward with this. And I appreciate every single one of you. Hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, hit that thing, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Hit it like you wanted to hit that girl at 18 years old. Hit it, let go. I appreciate you, boys and girls. Remember what I said, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Put a golf first at loose end drag. Peace, son, chicken grease. I'm out.